Yo, what's up, family? It's your boy Danny Klein. We are live out here in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Lions Den, and today I got something special planned for you guys. I get tons of questions, people asking me, how old are you? What did you do before this? Did you sell cars? Why you decided to work with the Elliott Group? I get tons of questions, and I want to tell my story to you guys, so I got something super special planned for you guys. And also, we got a ton of coaches here that work with the Elliott Group, and I'm going to interview them and also ask them why they decided to stay with Andy Elliott and the Elliott Group. And make sure you stay all the way to the end, because I got a special interview for you guys. Let's get into it. Back in the day, I mean, if we could go all the way back to high school, Danny Klein was sneakerhead. Still kind of am, bringing that back now that I got the money to be able to, afford some of those things. But back in the day, I was a skater kid. I was friends with everybody. I always found a way to make money. I was, flipping sneakers. I was mowing lawns. I was shoveling driveways. I was always trying to find, ways to be able to go in and make money. So back in the day, Danny Klein was just a good guy that was just trying to figure it out. I also had some bad habits. Smoked a lot of weed, did a lot of stupid stuff, partied a lot. Some things that probably aren't the best today, but I learned a lot from those experiences. But, I had divorced parents growing up. Really taught me to be independent. It taught me how to be able to go out and just make it happen. I remember in 5th grade, I wanted to go and buy a skateboard. All my friends were skateboarding, and I literally had to go and I went and mowed lawns. My mom was like, well, we don't have any money, but if you take the lawnmower, you take the gas, you can charge people $20 to mow their lawn, and you mow 5-6 lawns, you have enough. And that day I came back with $100 to go and get a skateboard, customize the whole thing I remember it was ccs.com. I customized the whole thing. Man, from that day forward, I realized that I could go out and make whatever future I wanted for myself. And I was in 5th grade at that time, but fast forward, was college dropout, delivered Chinese food. Then I got into the car business, which we'll save that story for a little bit later in the video. But I got into the car business. That's when everything really changed for me.
All right, so you're mentioning that back in the day, you used to pretty much hustle your way into finding money for things that you wanted. Is there a specific hustle that was your favorite and that you would recommend to your audience?
Well, I'll give you two answers. My favorite one, I think my favorite story to tell, I was in 5th grade, right? 5th grade is kind of when the hustle really started. I remember my mom buying me like some school supplies. It was like the little eraser tips, pencil grips, those little like knickknacks, right, for school, like the pencil grips and all that stuff. And I remember that I got cooler stuff than we used to have like a school store, right? And I remember I used to sell them 2 for a quarter, and then I'd sell like 5 for 50 cents. And literally, I remember within 2 days, I had quarters all the way, if you remember the little pencil thing inside the desk, right, the old school desk, I had quarters all the way from one end to another. I ended up making like $15 off a $3 like little box of like pencil accessories and 5th grader like school accessories, like literally like 10x my stuff back. I went back to my mom and I had her literally go and buy me like a couple more, and then I kept flipping the pencil grips and erasers until they decided that that was not cool and I could not sell stuff in school because I was distracting people from working. That was like one of my first initial stories. What hustle I'd recommend to people, if you're 18 plus, I would honestly just recommend getting right into sales, because you're not going to want to just go and flip sneakers for $100 or make $50 here and there, these odd end jobs. Those are things that you learn on at an early age to be able to learn the skill sets required to get into an actual sales career when you're older. So I would tell you, any hustle that you want to have, just go get a full career selling cars, selling solar, selling roofs, selling anything that's going to give you an entry-level job. The barrier of entry is literally zero. It doesn't cost you anything to get in. So I would tell you, just get right into sales. Doesn't matter what job it is, whatever's available in your local area, and then just start learning the skill set of sales so you can make some money, stack some money away from yourself to either elevate up the game or to transition to your own business.
Well, how old were you? How did you stumble upon it? And why did you decide to get into it?
When I dropped out of school, I was delivering Chinese food for a year and just kind of blowing my life away, playing video games literally all the other time, and then just drinking, smoking weed, just blowing my life away. And then my buddy was selling cars at the time, and he was like, oh man, how you been, da-da-da, we were chopping it up. I met him in the gym, and he told me he made $15,000 that month, and he was 18 years old. I was 19 at the time. And in that moment, I had made a decision, and I was like, man, you made $15,000 last month. I made like $3,500. And I was like, if you can get me a job, like I'm gonna quit what I'm doing right now, because obviously delivering Chinese food is not the career I'm trying to do. And he ended up hiring me. His dad was a general manager. Shout out to Jeff, shout out to Logan. Love you guys for inserting me into this career. It's changed the trajectory of my entire life. No, I mean, I literally started that next month and started selling cars. Thought I was gonna kick ass and make $15,000 a month right out the gate. Did not, but then I found Andy Elliott, and then at this point I'm about 20, 21 years old, and really started to understand it. And then I remember my first year, maybe my first like $10,000 month, and it just changed my entire perspective on what was possible.
Where you initially found Andy Elliott, and how you made that transition from being in the car dealership into joining the Elliott Army?
Yeah, so initially when I was selling cars, COVID had hit and I was making, $3,000-$4,000 a month. And there was actually a particular month where I only got a $1,500 draw check and then I got a $200 commission. So I made like whatever the math is on that. It was like $1,700 for the total of the month. And I nearly shit myself. I just thought I was like done. I thought I was gonna get fired. And then I just went on YouTube and I typed in how to sell cars. And I'm scrolling. I watched a few videos. This guy, Andy Elliott, pops up. I watched 3 videos back to back to back. The next day, I put up a $1,500 commission deal on one car deal. Not the entire month. All of last month I made $1,500. On one deal I made $1,500 and I was like, holy shit. So I went back on the video and sent him a text and I said, hey bro, the stuff you're putting out is awesome. I just put up a $1,500 deal. I just want to say thank you. And then guess what? Old Andy Elliott reaches out. This is when he had like 2,000 subscribers. He reaches out, he calls me, he says, bro, like I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna make you the best salesman in your entire state. I want you to come out to my master closer seminar. And I was all hyped up, man, because I was like, man, I'm ready to change my life. I saw what this guy was doing. It made just complete sense the way that he was teaching some of this stuff. And I didn't end up making the decision in that moment. I remember the next day I called him. I felt like a little bitch and I was like, hey, you know what? Run my card. I'll be there out in Oklahoma. And it was my first master closer seminar. It was June 2020. It's been a long time. It was my first master closer seminar. So from there, I started selling. I went back and just fucking killed it. And it was selling like 25 cars a month. Started making like 10 grand a month consistently, 15 grand a month consistently. And then about 9 months goes by. My dad ends up passing away, drowns in a pool, rest in peace, love you pops. Just changed everything for me. And I was in constant communication with them. I was planning on coming out to another event. I just told my dad I just booked another seminar to come out for that next month. And then I was talking with Andy and the team and they were like, hey, you know what? Why don't you come out here, come work for the Elliott Group. We want you on your team. We love your heart. We love your coachability. We love your results. And we want you to just be on this mission with us. And just was like, fuck it, man. I'm all in, man. I remember talking to Andy and I said, you know what? Let me make a phone call real quick. Let me make a phone call. And I called my parents, told them kind of what was going on, made a call back. And then 30 days later, I flew out to come work for the Elliott Group in Scottsdale, Arizona.
How long have you been with the Elliott Group now?
At this point today, it's been about 3.5 years with the Elliott Group.
The DK brand is expanding quickly. You're very well known within the Elliott Group and its partners. How did you get to become a top producer?
There's a couple things. So you mentioned the brand. I would say a big contributor to my success was since the beginning, I've always been hunting on social media, making relationships and posting content, or at least in the beginning trying to post content and make it look as good as it does today. But the brand has been a big thing because it allows people to get familiar with you. They trust you more. There's more respect. There's more authority. There's more status just from them being familiar with who you are. So the brand has been huge. The relationship has been huge, but also boils down to obviously hard work and then the skill sets that you acquire from learning how to sell, how to negotiate, how do I move this deal forward, how do I serve this client at the highest level, get them results so they can give me more referrals. So I would tell you it's the brand, it's the skill set, it's the relationships, it's a combination of all those things. So that way you can get more clients, more referrals from these people and just keep growing month over month, year over year.
Despite all of the successes that you have had within the brand in such a short period of time, what do you aspire for the future? What are your overall goals within the Elliott Group?
So my overall goals within the Elliott Group is just to make sure that my team is killing it, make sure that they're happy, they're making money, they're making deals within the Elliott Group. So making sure everyone's tight, making sure that the culture is always lit, is always growing within the entire company, within the Elliott Group. I want to speak on more stages, I want to be in more podcasts, I want to help more people, I want to become better as a coach. And I got a couple speaking events coming up, which is really cool. That's going to be a good test for myself. It's going to be able to see, are they receiving the message that I'm putting out? You know, I love being authentic to myself and I think the message I'm putting out is good. But as a coach, you know, I do have to value people's opinions, what they think. Do they value the words that I'm saying? Is it making an impact? And I need what I'm speaking and what I'm saying to make an impact. So just focus on becoming a better coach. On that note, I want to do an interview with a couple of the coaches that we have inside of our building on their stories and why they decide to stay with the Elliott Group. Let's go check it out. Yo, what's up, family? We're here with Jesse Cloud. My boy's been absolutely killing it. Jesse, how did you find Andy Elliott and what did you do before the Elliott Group?
Great story. So real quick, it's a long one, but you know what? We'll make it a quick format. You know, I'm 18-year-old scrolling on YouTube, just started selling cars. I'm like, what the heck? How do you sell cars? So I come across this guy that wasn't as jacked as he is now and really wasn't even as fired up as he was. But you know what? He started.
Yep.
And he was putting out content that resonated with me. I got plugged in with Andy. I've been with him since 2018, going on 19. So was that 5 years?
Yeah.
And he helped me scale to one of the top sales professionals in the Southeast. You know,
Yep.
crushed it, killed it. Next thing you know, we're making a lot of money a month. And then Andy calls me and says, Jesse, you're playing so small. And then offered me the opportunity to obviously move into his house with him and come
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And that's how the journey started, and now we're here just living by purpose, taking care of people, and doing the right thing. And ultimately, when we do the right thing with Andy's product, Andy's training, their life change, everything transform. It's beautiful.
And obviously you're here working with the Elliott Group. What do you see in Andy Elliott, and why do you decide to stay here and make this your home?
Yeah, 100%. Well, what I see in Andy's belief. He puts his belief inside of me. He puts his belief inside of every single person that comes in contact, whether that's on digitally on your phone or live in person, meeting him at the store. We went to the mall the other day and we didn't even get to do anything because for 3 hours he was just literally giving so much value to people, running up to him. Oh my gosh, you're Andy. Oh my goodness, Andy. He just showed so much love to him. So just believability and knowing for 100,000% that everything that I'm doing right now and working as hard as I'm doing is going to a good purpose, and that's to change the world and do the best thing for us.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yay!
Let's go, Mike.
Get that on camera?
Let's go, baby!
Yo, what's up, family? I'm here with Selena, the #1 saleswoman coach inside the Elliott Group. She's my freaking favorite. Selena, I want to
Are you
ask
just
you.
saying that?
No, you're my
Okay,
favorite.
alright,
You bring the
I'm gonna
most
double
enthusiasm,
tap you. Okay.
the best pins, the best energy, the best love, the best
Air
follow-up.
fresheners, come on.
Yes. I want to ask you one question. What did you do before the Elliott Group, and why did you decide to come work for Andy?
Sold cars for 10 years, so I got in the automotive industry at 18. And why did I decide to work for Andy?
How and why?
How and why? Because he changed my life through sales training. So I actually implemented, he gave me a blueprint layout map plan. He goes, Selena, you want to become a general manager? Here's the plan. Go implement it. Within a matter of 6 months, we hit record-breaking units at my dealership, at my company where I sold cars at. He changed my life so much, and I'm like, there's only one of you. You need more people to help and go and change the world. And I just decided, like, this is my mission and my calling if I can help other people and teach people exactly the blueprint layout map plan that he gave me. So I was like, I got to be a part of this.
And at this point now, how long have you been with the Elliott Group?
It's been about a year and a half.
So a year and a half. Where do you see Andy at? Where do you see the Elliott Group and yourself at? Like, because we've grown so much the last couple years. You know, where do you see everybody going?
I see everybody starting to train big corporate companies, like big organizations like Target, Walmart, Disney, Coca-Cola, like those big companies. That's where I see us going. Like, and right now we're just starting off we're just scratching the surface in these little baby companies. I seriously see us going like national, worldwide. I remember meeting Andy for the first time and then knowing that Jacqueline speaks Spanish. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go international. Like, we're gonna have certified trainers in other countries for our language where we can get all the words translated over and they can implement that. And that's like big business, big deals. That's where I think that we're gonna be at 3 years. It gives me chills. Like,
Well,
oh my God, I have chills right now just thinking about it.
What do you tell people, everybody out there, that because those are big, those are huge, like audacious, crazy goals, right?
Yeah.
To most people. What do you tell most people that think that those goals are like too much?
You have limiting beliefs. And I used to have them too. So like, I don't blame anybody for anybody thinking that too. But I used to have limiting beliefs of like how much money that I could make, what I'm worth, my success rate, what my success is based off of. But man, like there's so much more than what you're capable of. And I think it all just starts in the mind and also who you surround yourself with. Like if I surround myself with Andy and Danny Klein all day for the next 3 years, it's like, who does Selena become? Versus me just hanging out with the same guy that's making $80,000 a year and everybody else in my same pool. You'll never grow. You'll never learn more than those other people, because when you're around other people that help challenge you and change you, you want to just be like that. Like that's your reality and economy, and you have to be truly immersed inside of it.
You're the freaking best.
Dude, you are.
Let's go. All right, what's going on? I'm here with Bryson and Maria Kirby. How long you guys been married for?
Married 5 years, together for 10.
What did you guys do before you decided to come work for the Elliott Group?
I sold foundation repair in North Carolina, so I was crawling underneath people's houses, trying to close them down on the spot, and yeah, it sucked.
What'd you do, Maria?
I worked in a veterinary hospital.
How did you guys find Andy? Like, how'd y'all end up here?
So I sent Maria a podcast, Dropping Bombs, where Brad launched his first Closer School Live, and I was like, babe, I want to go to this. And then next thing I knew, she called me back the same day, and she spent all of our $10,000 in our savings account on the best tickets that he offered. And I was like, fuck it, we're going all in on this.
Were you scared?
Fuck yeah.
Y'all spent all this money, right? And most people are telling you you're stupid, like you need to play safe. You guys went out to Closer School, like you showed up. What happened at Closer School?
Andy got on stage and we had never seen anything like that. We had always lived in like self-limiting beliefs, didn't realize that there was money out there, that there were people that thought like you thought. And then when Andy got on stage and spoke for an hour, we were like, man, this is our guy. Like, we need to know everything this guy knows. He just fired us up.
How did you guys end up here? I know you were selling Real Financial, right? And then he kind of got tagged along, right?
Yeah, so at that event was where we got exposed to Real Financial. We got like kind of brought into it. And then literally 4 weeks later, after I sold a couple policies and stuff, came out out here. And then Andy called Bryson after I got back and was like, hey, do you want to come work for me? I was like, that was it.
Yeah, so the story behind that was the first conversation I had with Andy was he asked me what my biggest problem was. And the first thing I thought of, I was like, I smoke weed every day. And I literally smoked every day for like 10 years straight. It was the only thing that we ever argued about. But I was making the money, so I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think Andy was watching me over the next couple weeks, and I hit him up about a month later, and I was like, bro, I made it a month without smoking. I owe this all to you. Like, thank you for changing my life. And then he called me, put me on fucking FaceTime right there on the spot. And he was like, dude, I was testing you, and you like actually like kept your word for what you said. He was like, not a lot of people do that. And he was like, I want you on my team. I can create a killer out of you. And I was like, fuck it, what do we need to do? And he was like, well, you need to move to Arizona. And I was like, all right, give me a little bit of time. We got to sell our house and shit. And then I think within like 10 days, we were driving across the country. So
How long have you guys been with the Elliott Group officially working as coaches as of today?
Yeah, I guess like almost a year and a half.
What's been your biggest takeaways from working inside the Elliott Group?
I think my biggest thing that I say a lot lately is like you have no idea how much you can change and grow in a year. Like 1 year's time, if you really go all in on something, you won't recognize the other person. Like I even remember seeing you a year ago and you were all like skinny and everything and you look so different. Like you just don't know what you can do in a year, how good you can get, the skill you can get, how like you can change your entire body in a year's time.
I would say proximity is everything, because my whole life I've always just been like the best at whatever I got into, and I didn't really have to like try that hard. And then coming to an environment like this and you're not the best, it fucks with you. And then also too, like Maria was never even in sales before being here, and a lot of people can kind of question that, but like now she's a fucking killer just because she's around killers all day long, and you're like pressed to do better or else you're not gonna last. And like that's my favorite part. I love that shit.
You guys are the fucking best.
You're the best.
Let's fucking go.
Love you, DK.
All right, we are here with my boy Jacob Hagerman. Jacob, how old are you, bro?
23.
How did you find Andy Elliott?
So I found him through YouTube when I was 18 years old. At the car lot, was getting my ass handed to me for a couple of months, and I was tired of it.
How long have you been with the Elliott Group now?
4 years.
Over this last 4 years, what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Is that you're never out. All you have to do is truly believe that you can achieve something and be able to have a game plan that you can actually execute on. And if you don't have the belief that you can do it, you're never going to do it. Having a game plan, actionables, execution, and environment.
And so let's slow down for a second. I want you to tell your story a little bit and then why you decided to join Andy Elliott on this mission.
Yeah, man. So I was selling cars and just getting after it. I was supposed to go be a finance manager, was the next one up in line. Andy reached out to me and just gave me an opportunity and said, hey, listen, I want you for my team. And I thought to myself, man, I've always wanted an opportunity to play a different game. So I realized, dude, I'm young. If I make a choice and it doesn't go well, I still have a lot of years ahead of me to be able to make mistakes. And so I said, F it, let's do it. 7-minute phone call with Andy. I said, dude, I'm in. Like, I'm ready to start. And then I sold everything that I had in my house, broke my lease, moved out to Norman, Oklahoma, and anything that couldn't fit in the Mustang stayed at home.
What'd you see in Andy that made you say, fuck it, I'm in?
I seen a guy with conviction that was unlike anybody I've ever met in my life. And so his conviction, his belief, and the way that he spoke about the opportunity that was in front of us was one that I've never had anybody be able to like pour a vision into me and then me be able to buy into it without actually seeing the tangibles. And so it was the first time I ever truly was sold on an ideology, which was the Elliott Group being what we are today.
And last thing, where do you think the Elliott Group is going at this day and time?
Amazon, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, just in every single aspect. Amazon in the way that we're able to deliver Tesla, with the way of the ingenuity and the way that we're going to be training people and the way that we're going to be able to roll out products. And then ultimately the last one, like Berkshire Hathaway, be able to be like somebody who's out there helping people make billions of dollars annually because of the training and the leadership, the skill acquisition that we're going to be sending over to these sales teams. And so our competitors are not other sales trainers. Our competitors are those that are doing, hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars of commerce every single year. So I look at Bezos as competition, Elon Musk as competition. I look at, the Charlie Mungers, God rest his soul. Those are the guys that I feel are our competition.
Big fucking dreamies, baby. Let's go. Love you, Jacob.
If you made it this far in the video, you are the true 1%er, my friend. I'm proud of you.
I'm here with the motherfucking man, Andy Elliott. So today we did a little tour around, asked all the coaches why they decided to leave their old lives, come work for the Elliott Group, their old story. And I want to ask you, why did you decide to start the Elliott Group?
Well, number one, I'm be honest with you, because I wish I could give you an answer that was like, I had this dream
But I literally had this dream that one day somebody was going to take care of me and they were going to be good to me and I would have loyalty returned to me when I gave loyalty. I was always good at sales. I was always good at leading, and I never wanted to open my own business. And maybe I thought small because of that, but honestly, I'm going to tell you this, being an entrepreneur is just as fulfilling as being an entrepreneur as long as you work for the right people. I just kept running into people that would betray me, that would lie to me, that would deceive me, and I just got sick of it, Danny. So thank God these people did screw me over, and eventually one day I said, you know what, man, maybe I won't make it doing my own deal, but let me build something and try my best to create a place in which we can have our own family. We don't lie to each other. We don't cheat. We don't steal. It's heaven on earth. We can make really good money, but also we can have the culture we want. We don't have to walk around on eggshells around people that we don't like. Dude, really like create our own economy, create our own reality, create like, you know, we like to work out. We like to change people's lives. We're not just selling stuff. And people always, oh, you guys are in sales. No, dude, we're life coaches. I know that sounds crazy. It's labeled sales training, but like we're life coaches, man. Like when we're done with somebody or when we start with somebody, they change their life forever. Their kids are changed, their wives changed, their families changed. Dude, our lives are changed. You know, you've changed my life, I've changed yours. You know, we've got this great company here where we wouldn't have had this had I gotten betrayed and then had I started this. And when I put my back against the wall, it showed me what a person was capable of becoming and doing when their back's against the wall.
What do you think is the biggest thing that separates you from all these other influencers, all these other people? I know why in my heart, but what's your perspective from what you're seeing with all these other people? What makes you different to you?
Well, dude, I want to tell you, number one, we come for the masses that are the lost. Broken, rejected,
Stay
lost.
grounded.
You're my people. We do business with people that have billions of dollars. And I love that. And I love that they're big thinkers, and I love that they got big businesses, and I love that they made it as far as they do. But if an 18-year-old reaches out with us and he's struggling on his last dollar and just got his heart broken by his girlfriend, just got fired from his job, we're even more excited to lean into that guy. And we're like, dude, you're the future. You have no idea how dangerous you are. We're going to change your life. Your best life starts right now. Dude, whatever just happened to you, that was a blessing. Now you got the fuel to go kick everybody's ass. And dude, we change that guy's perspective, and he's like, dude, oh my God. And dude, he goes and kills it. That's the future. You know, I'm just want to say it's 44, Danny's 24, you know, he could be my son. He's the future. These young guys are the future. Guys my age, it is our responsibility to step up and be the example and leaders for young men like him. And if you're older than me, you better really get your ass out. But I want to say that I really think what separates us, man, is our heart. We do give a shit. We don't care about money. We've never cared about money, and it's crazy how when you use your heart and you follow your instincts and you're good to people, but you don't make decisions based off of money, it's crazy how far you'll go. We started this business, I say by accident, but nothing is accidental anymore. Now that we know what we know, now that we've learned that an individual can be beat, but a team can't be beat, our power is in our team. He's got an amazing girl. Her name's Valerie. One day he'll marry her. That'll be his kids. He'll have kids, and they're going to have a big family. And that right there all grows in this company. And then his kids will grow, and they'll be running the company, and everything's going to go. Like, we're creating a business that's not for sale. There's no exit. People always say, what are you going to do in 5 years from now? I'm like, bro, what am I going to do till I die? I'm going to be around a culture like this in which it allows me to be who we are and kick ass.
One last tip for everybody on the other side of the screen to just go and kill it and change your life.
Yeah, number one, don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not capable or you can't do it. Everybody's capable. Everybody qualifies. Obviously, here in the background, we're starting a Zoom meeting. We're always got shit going on, but everybody's qualified for a great life. Everybody is. Okay, so I don't give a fuck about what you've done. I don't care about who you are. I care about who you're becoming. And anybody don't believe in you, fuck them.
Don't be a worm.
We
Like,
do.
comment, subscribe, share the video with the homie. If you made it this far in the video, you're the true 1%er. We love you.